Have you ever sat in a room full of people and still felt alone? Or maybe you found yourself exhausted after spending time with certain friends or acquaintances, wondering why you feel drained instead of fulfilled. If so, you're not alone. As we get older, our relationships shift. Some friendships deepen, while others fade. But here's the thing, letting go of certain social ties isn't just natural, it can actually be one of the healthiest choices you make. Downsizing your social circle isn't about cutting people out for the sake of it. It's about making room for the relationships that truly bring you joy, peace, and fulfillment. Think about it. When we were younger, having a large social circle might have felt exciting. There were parties, work friends, neighbors, acquaintances from hobbies, and all sorts of social obligations. But as life moves forward, so do we. Our priorities change. The people we once had things in common with might no longer fit into our lives in the same way. And that's okay. The truth is, not all friendships are meant to last forever. But here's where it gets tricky. Many of us hold onto relationships out of habit, guilt, or even a sense of obligation. Maybe it's a friend you've known for decades but who constantly brings negativity into your life. Maybe it's a social group that no longer feels right for you, yet you keep showing up because it's what you've always done. The question is, are these connections adding to your life, or are they quietly draining your happiness? There's a common misconception that more friends equal more happiness. But research tells a different story. Studies show that as we age, the quality of our relationships matters far more than the quantity. Having just a handful of meaningful, supportive friendships leads to greater happiness, less stress, and even better physical health. Yes, you heard that right, downsizing your social circle can actually improve your well-being. So, what does that look like in real life? It starts with identifying the people in your life who bring positivity, support, and genuine connection. These are the friends who lift you up, who listen without judgment, and who make your heart feel lighter after spending time with them. On the other hand, if someone leaves you feeling drained, anxious, or unappreciated more often than not, it may be time to reevaluate that relationship. Now, you might be thinking, but I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. And that's understandable. Letting go of social ties isn't about confrontation or cutting people off abruptly. It's about gradually shifting your time and energy toward the relationships that truly matter. Sometimes, that means spending less time with certain individuals rather than severing ties completely. Other times, it means allowing a friendship to naturally fade without forcing it to continue. And here's something important to remember, you're not being selfish by prioritizing your own peace. You're valuing your mental and emotional well-being, which is just as important as physical health. Imagine waking up each day knowing that the people in your life truly support you, that you no longer feel obligated to maintain draining relationships, and that your time is spent with those who genuinely care. That kind of peace is priceless. Now that we've started looking at why downsizing your social circle can be beneficial, let's dive deeper into how to make this transition in a way that feels natural, respectful, and freeing. Now that we've started thinking about the value of a smaller, more meaningful social circle, the next question is, how do you actually start making this shift? It's one thing to understand the benefits, but letting go of certain relationships can feel complicated, even uncomfortable. The good news is, this process doesn't have to be dramatic or painful. In fact, when done with intention and kindness, downsizing your social circle can feel like a natural and even liberating step toward a more peaceful life. The first thing to do is to really tune in to how you feel after spending time with different people. Pay attention to your energy levels. Do you feel lighter, happier, and uplifted? Or do you feel exhausted, irritated, or even anxious? Sometimes, we get so used to certain friendships that we stop questioning whether they're actually good for us. But your emotions don't lie. If a relationship consistently leaves you feeling drained, it may be time to create some space. Now, creating space doesn't mean you have to send a dramatic message saying, "I'm cutting you out of my life." That's not what this is about. Instead, it's about gradually shifting your time and energy toward the relationships that bring you the most peace. You might start by saying no to invitations that don't excite you. You might stop initiating conversations with people who don't truly support or respect you. Or you might simply let certain friendships fade naturally by not forcing interactions that no longer feel right. One of the biggest hurdles in this process is guilt. Many of us were raised to believe that being a good friend means always being available, always saying yes, always making time for others, even at our own expense. But here's the truth: real friendship is a two-way street. It should feel balanced, not like an obligation. If a relationship is making you feel guilty rather than fulfilled, it might be worth asking yourself why you're holding on. Are you afraid of hurting someone's feelings? Do you feel responsible for their happiness? Or are you simply keeping the friendship out of habit? It's also important to remember that not everyone is meant to stay in our lives forever. Some friendships serve a purpose for a season, and then it's time to move on. Think about old classmates, former coworkers, or neighbors you were once close with but naturally drifted away from. At the time, those relationships may have been meaningful, but life changed, and so did your connections. The same thing can happen at any stage of life, including now. And that's okay. Of course, downsizing your social circle isn't just about letting go, it's also about deepening the relationships that truly matter. Who are the people who bring you the most joy? Who listens, supports, and uplifts you? Who makes you laugh and feel genuinely understood? Those are the friendships worth nurturing. Instead of spreading yourself thin over dozens of surface-level connections, focus on strengthening the bonds that bring you the most happiness. This might mean reaching out to an old friend you've lost touch with, scheduling regular coffee dates with someone you truly enjoy, or simply making more time for the relationships that already bring you peace. Quality over quantity, always. And here's something interesting. Studies show that people with just a few close, meaningful friendships tend to be happier and healthier than those with large social circles filled with shallow connections. Less stress, less drama, and more time to focus on what truly brings joy. So, as you begin this process of simplifying your social life, ask yourself, who do I truly enjoy spending time with? Who do I feel safe and comfortable around? Who adds positivity to my life? The answers to those questions will guide you. Now, as we continue, let's talk about the emotional side of downsizing your social circle, how to handle feelings of loneliness, how to fill the space left behind, and how to embrace this new chapter with confidence and peace. One of the biggest concerns people have when they start downsizing their social circle is loneliness. It's completely normal to wonder, if I start letting go of certain friendships, will I end up feeling isolated? The truth is, loneliness doesn't come from having fewer people in your life, it comes from a lack of meaningful connection. A crowded room can feel lonelier than an evening spent in your own peaceful company. That's why the key isn't just removing negative or draining relationships, it's also about filling your life with the right kind of companionship, including the relationship you have with yourself. When you create space in your life by stepping away from relationships that no longer serve you, something amazing happens. You start to see new opportunities for connection, ones that feel more aligned with who you are today. Maybe you'll reconnect with an old friend you lost touch with. Maybe you'll have more time to strengthen your bond with family members. Or maybe, for the first time in a long time, you'll have the chance to meet new people who truly share your interests and values. One way to do this is by getting involved in activities that genuinely bring you joy. Whether it's joining a book club, attending a local community event, or even picking up a new hobby, these experiences naturally bring like-minded people into your life. The best friendships don't come from forcing connections, they come from shared experiences, laughter, and mutual respect. So instead of worrying about the people you're letting go of, shift your focus to the connections you're about to create. Another important piece of this journey is learning to truly enjoy your own company. So many people spend their lives afraid of being alone, but solitude can actually be one of the most peaceful and fulfilling experiences. When you're comfortable with yourself, you don't feel the need to fill every moment with social interaction. You start appreciating quiet mornings with a cup of tea, solo walks in nature, and the freedom to do what makes you happy, without worrying about what anyone else thinks. Think about it, how often have you kept social commitments simply out of obligation? How many times have you said yes to plans that you didn't really want to attend, just to avoid disappointing someone? Downsizing your social circle gives you the power to take back your time. Instead of constantly showing up for others, you get to show up for yourself. And here's something incredible: the more at peace you become with yourself, the more naturally the right people will be drawn to you. When you no longer rely on social validation to feel good, you start forming relationships from a place of true connection rather than need. That's when friendships feel effortless, fulfilling, and deeply meaningful. As you move forward, remind yourself that this process isn't about shutting people out, it's about making room for more peace, more joy, and more of what truly matters. Downsizing your social circle doesn't mean you'll be alone. It means you'll be surrounded by the right people, in the right way, at the right time. So, as we wrap up, ask yourself, what kind of relationships do I want in my life? What kind of energy do I want to welcome? And most importantly, what kind of peace am I ready to embrace? If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more tips on living your best, most fulfilling life. And I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever downsized your social circle? What changes did you notice? Let's keep the conversation going in the comments below. Here's to creating a life filled with peace, joy, and the connections that truly matter. See you in the next video. So, as we wrap up, ask yourself, what kind of relationships do I want in my life? What kind of energy do I want to welcome? And most importantly, what kind of peace am I ready to embrace? Downsizing your social circle doesn't mean you'll be alone. It means you'll be surrounded by the right people, in the right way, at the right time. When you choose quality over quantity, you open the door to a more peaceful, fulfilling, and joyful life. If you found this video helpful, let me know in the comments. Have you ever downsized your social circle? What changes did you notice? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you're enjoying this kind of content, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. We talk about ways to live a healthier, happier life at any age, and I'd love for you to be part of this community. Here's to creating a life filled with peace, joy, and the connections that truly matter. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.